Hey guys, it's Blair, the Love Guru from loveguru.net and thealiennetwork.com and horsehealer.net. Today is April 22nd, 2026, and I heard that David Wilcock is the character. David Wilcock, the character, let's just be clear about that, is no longer. And I wanted to share my experience or my memory of David Wilcock. May he rest in peace, as the NPCs say. So, before I get into that story, I want to share, this is related, I want to share how I've been writing a book. Well, actually, I wrote a book during Con 19. It's called The Rise of the Lightworkers, and it does have a mention of David Wilcock in it, okay? My love, David Wilcock, my love. And David Wilcock was part of my Con 19 story for like the first month, maybe 5-6 weeks or so, because at that time, so I wrote that book during Con 19. I've been editing it since November 2025. It was ready to be published. I thought it was going to be published. I was going to publish it. It was all edited, all ready to go. I thought it was going to be published in April 2026. March 2026 or early April 2026. It was like ready to go. Okay? But then a month ago, so this was like mid-March, I was like, you know what? The energy started leaving or like quieting down, and spirit and my soul had me focusing on something else in my career, and which picked up like with passion. Okay. And I was like, hey, but what about my book? Because it still needs to go through, like, I want to speak to another editor, have them do some stuff with it. And then I need to get the book cover designed, and then I'm going to release it. I was like, so what about all of that? I don't like leaving my projects like sort of half done. And the book is very important because it shares how to be part of the solution of like what's going on in the world right now, how to fix the world. And it's like I said, it's called The Rise of the Lightworkers. So it's for lightworkers who feel the call to change this world, fix, improve, all of that, this world. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to let it be. Like, that's a little bit weird because I've been working on it for like, I don't know, whatever it was, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months, like consistently, like hardcore. I was like all excited for it to release. And then it was like the energy sort of like died down, or like, again, I was busy with something else with my career. So then a couple of days ago, so this must have been maybe April 20th or so, I started feeling little tinges of like, hey, I think I want to go back to my book. Let me go put a job posting for this other type of editor that I'm seeking that just is going to do like a run through and quickly, like, it's not going to take long. I already did like the meat of it with my other editor. And I was like, you know what? I feel ready to put the book out. Let's put the book out. So now 2 days later, this all connects. I want you to pay attention to this. I'm sharing these stories so you can see how your intuition works, as well as like maybe how your work projects work, or how the energy comes in and out for certain reasons. And there's like synchronicity with it. And then I'm going to go into like the whole David Wilcock memory. Oh, be still, my heart. So I just noticed today that somebody was like, oh, the light worker, Dave made a video that was on my feed. David Wilcock, the light worker, is no longer, may he rest in peace. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, because the guy's youngish, you know, like he's not old. So like I read the story, whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And I was like, you know, and of course online everyone's like, oh, there's no way he unalived himself. You know, let me use like the YouTube special lingo. Because of like fake and not fake censorship. We won't get into that. But, so there's like a whole conspiracy around his, character leaving the stage. So I was like, you know what? I need to make a video. So I was like, oh, this is so interesting. I was like, number one, I need to make a video about my memory of David Wilcock. And number two, how interesting that literally just a few days ago, I was starting to get the intuitions, like, and consistently every day of like, hey, Blair, let's revisit that book. Let's put that book out. So that's that story. Number two, which leads into the rise of the light, which leads into the rise of the light workers. Because again, like I said, this is my memory of David Wilcock, which was the story that I wrote during Con 19. And then I edited it now. I added extra pieces to the book about like things that I was being guided through during that time on how to rise as a leader of the new earth, which is again what this whole book is about, and solutions to help you, like taking you then through the lessons that I learned so that you can rise to be a leader and like step into your rightful place in this world. So my memory of David Wilcock, and again, this is talked about in that book, The Rise of the Lightworkers. David Wilcock was heavily popularized on YouTube during Con 19. He was heavily promoted on YouTube during Con 19. And I'm not going to go into all the details of that because you can read my book to understand everything deeper on a deeper level if you're ready for it. But not everybody who is an indigo or a starseed or a light worker who pretends that they're a warrior of the light, or again, he was an indigo. He was an indigo warrior like me, maybe like you, but not all indigo warriors are on the light side, okay? And not everything in this game that we're playing is as it seems, right? Because then that would not be fun. If everybody told you who they were or pretended to be a certain way and that's who they were, that's not the game we're playing here. Hello, wake up. In case you haven't woken up during Con 19, let this be somewhat of a wake-up call for you. Because he has a lot of people who think that they're awake. But, you know, some people were heavily planted during Con 19, and they were spreading certain information that was just incorrect. And David Wilcock, the way that I know him, because I never knew who David Wilcock was until Con 19. I was never interested in aliens, even though I am an alien contactee, and I wrote a whole series of books about my experience called How Aliens Put Me into Power. But even after I had that awakening, I still was not interested in David Wilcock and paid no attention to him. What happened is because he was heavily promoted during Con 19, I started watching his material, and he was pushing the whole QAnon psyop. That there were good people in the military that were working as the Alliance to take down the bad people in the government to save the day. And there was a whole story, elaborate story that went on with that. And I fell for it, but not really, because I was like, I was always like, this is weird, and this is weird, and this is weird. Like all these different things that he was talking about, I was like, this is just not rubbing me right. But I still, I kind of went along with it for a bit, which was for a month, is that first book in the series, The Rise of the Lightworkers. And I teach about that. So that is so I don't know, for some reason, when I was editing this book, I went back to his videos and I was doing a little bit of a web search, and I was like, I don't understand. Did a mass awakening around this guy not happen? Did no one or a large sum of people, because I made a video or two about him, but I don't get a lot of views on YouTube, right? So, because I'm not promoted. I'm not promoted by the powers that be, okay? So we all have different messages, all right? And in case you're not aware of how the whole YouTube social media thing works, along with this game that we're playing, certain people are going to get airtime and certain people are not. And there's reasons behind that, okay? So if you found this video, consider yourself lucky. You're welcome to. So what can I say? I went back and I was like doing a little research and I was like, was there never a mass awakening around this dude? Like, did not a lot of people come out and like blast him? No. He was still doing his live streams for like 2-3 hours. I don't know, like a fucking lunatic, like he always was. But like, he's still doing these like long live streams with these like, this like cultish following who's like constantly donating money to him for his stuff. So fine, cool. That would be nice. I'd like that. But like, none of these people woke up and like blasted him out, and supposedly now he still has like 500,000 followers, or maybe more at this time. I don't know. And now we're hearing about the terrible accident that happened with him. So, you know, may he rest in peace. If you're searching for the truth and you'd like to step into being part of the solution in this realm, in this world, making a difference, being a leader of the new earth and truly being in the light, you can't be that unless you actually know what the truth is and you get into alignment. So my book, The Rise of the Lightworkers, When You Know It's Your Time, is on pre-sale, and you can get that at loveguru.net/books. Bye-bye.